All right, what's happening? We got a tier list video today. I've never done one of these before. I don't think Ryan's ever done one of these before. Speaking of which, I'm joined here by, where's the camera? Ryan from Primetime Horror. Go check him out. But today we've got a video that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do. You know, I've seen many a tier lists in my day, but never before have I seen a tier list on horror YouTubers. So this is what we got today. We've got legend tier. It's probably gonna be rare because we're gonna be tough. We're gonna be tough with this. We're gonna be real. We're
gonna be brutally honest. We're not gonna shy away from any flaws that these YouTubers may or may not have.
Yeah, if one of them sucks, then they suck. And we'll find out where everybody places soon. But we got legend. Subscribe right away. So maybe not the top tier, but channels that we find ourselves watching more often than not. We recommend. So this is basically like maybe niche horror YouTubers, people that we may not watch every day, but we still would recommend you drop a sub on their channel, so to speak. Then we've got see for yourself, which means, I mean, it's all right, but you gotta kind of see for yourself. Like, maybe we don't watch these people all the time. Maybe we're not huge fans. And then we've got unsubscribe, which basically means if you're subscribed, then just do yourself a favor and unsubscribe.
So starting us off with all of our contestants, we have hailing from parts unknown, possibly from planet CHH, possibly. We have Christian Hannah Horror.
How's everybody's father doing? Christian. Get it? Because Christian. Okay, anyway, but we got Rotted Reviews next. A very underrated YouTuber in my opinion. I feel like he belonged on the list. Then we got another one of my picks, a very outspoken individual, if I do say so myself. It's Dave McRae.
Big McRae.
Yeah.
Then next up we have Stitched Together Pictures, a burned victim turned famous horror YouTuber. Then next up we have the jolly old fella Piz Owl.
Then we've got the man, I guess some would say, also known as Vengeance, I guess, judging by his profile picture, Drum Dums. Then we've got the Night Watch Zone, another one of my picks. I feel like, well, we'll get into him, but another one like Rotted Reviews that I feel like doesn't get enough credit. Then we've got the man himself,
The myth, the
our
legend.
friend. Yeah.
Horror Gang.
God. Horror Gang. You're not about that life.
You ain't, brother. You ain't.
Then you all.
We all
Scary.
got I Like Scary.
Yeah, we got I Like Scary in the building.
Yes.
Speaking of scary, from liking scary to craving it, craving something scary. Ooh.
And could you possibly be craving a little bit of dead meat, which is who we have next? Horror YouTube legend.
Horror YouTube icon right there. Then we've got.
And then next up we watched a movie.
Wham!
Two dudes. Wham!
Wham!
Then next up we have a slightly lesser known YouTube horror legend, Dr. Wolfula, a mutant killer werewolf.
Crazy. From a mutant killer werewolf to a dude.
Cody Leach.
Cody Leach, baby. Let's go. Deserves.
And then for all you Hellcats and Hellhounds out there,
Oh, yeah.
we have
Hell is empty.
Helvington.
Elvington. All right. Should we kick off tonight's proceedings, Ryan?
Yeah, we'll get started here. First up, we got Planet CHH, Christian Hannah Horror. This
Big
guy,
Christian.
How's
your father doing?
he has a lot of variety. He does a lot of different things. He is very big into physical media. If you're a physical media fan, he is definitely the guy for you. He reviews new releases. He does like a like old physical media videos, like just really cool things. But he also does like ranking videos and reviews and just really cool stuff. Like not even just physical media. He also does like collection videos and other things. Like he just recently did a horror room tour. So yeah, he has a lot of variety. And I wouldn't necessarily say that you should like subscribe right away because you know, I feel like he's just kind of like, if you're into collection stuff and physical media stuff, then definitely I would recommend. But if you're not as into that stuff, then I wouldn't necessarily say subscribe right away. So I'd say we recommend for this one. Yeah, he's a very cool guy, but like I said, if you're not like as big of like a collection guy, then you probably wouldn't be too into his content.
So after that, we've got one of my picks, Rotted Reviews. I feel like somebody who doesn't necessarily get enough credit because, at least for video production value, I think he's pretty good. I think he's pretty underrated. Just the quality of his videos, of his cameras, the way he reviews movies, that kind of stuff. Just from like a quality standpoint, I think he's pretty great, and I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm not sure how many he's at right now in terms of subscribers, maybe like 5,000, but I can definitely see him growing in the future. The only thing for me that keeps him out of subscribe right away is that he doesn't really do reviews on super well-known movies. So like if you want to see a review for Halloween or Friday the 13th, like he's not the channel to go to. But if you want to see a review on like some random low-budget indie 2018 like garbage film, then Rotted Reviews is the place to go. And I feel like just the way he does review those movies is still entertaining. Like it's one of those channels where you can watch the reviews without having seen the movie and you can still have a good time watching it. So I'm also gonna put him in We Recommend because again, he's much more for like hardcore horror fans, I think. And then we've got another one of my picks, Dave McCrae. Now this is one of my personal favorite horror YouTubers, but I don't think he's at the level yet of Legend. I mean, like, horror, YouTube isn't really his full-time job, so I feel like I couldn't really put him in Legend just because of that. But also because he doesn't necessarily have short-form content. Pretty much all of his stuff is either like live streams or, I guess, pretty much live streams and short films that are still like 50 minutes. So I guess if you're looking for like a short review, then he's not the place to go. But I do think that his live stream reviews and his live streams are a lot of fun. Still, like, he's one of the only YouTubers where I actually can sit down and like listen to him for 2 hours. Like, it helps that he's a voice actor. So I think he's professional enough. The potential is there, and he is one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go subscribe right away.
Yeah, so if you're like a fan of longer form content and live streams and things like that, then he is definitely the guy for you. But if you're more like me and you're not necessarily a live stream kind of person or like a short 50-minute short film kind of person, then he probably wouldn't necessarily be for you. But I'll trust James in that he's a subscribe right away.
Yep, subscribe right away for sure for Dave McCrae.
And then next up, we have one of my picks, Stitched Together Pictures, a sort of comedy character-driven type of channel. He's been around for quite some time, maybe one of the longest horror YouTubers on this list. And yeah, if you're really into comedy type stuff and just like hokiness, like if you're like into skits and things like that, he's definitely the guy for you, because like he'll do reviews and rankings and like in between like little scenes, like sort of like Family Guy-esque, like he'll say something, then it'll cut to like a quick little skit, and I think it's really funny. I think it's really entertaining. And then it's not just like solely based on the comedy though, like he definitely knows what he's talking about, and he's very well spoken, and he has some very good points, and he explains things very clearly and thoroughly. So like he's not like one of those like really pretentious type of guys who like they'll just ramble on and don't necessarily know what they're even talking about half the time. So yeah, I mean, if you're into comedy, if you're into reviews, if you're into rankings, he does all that kind of stuff. Like whenever a new movie comes out, you can bet your money that he will have a review up on it within like the first couple weeks. So I wouldn't necessarily say subscribe right away because like I feel like he leans in a bit more towards the comedy than a lot of other horror YouTubers do. But I'll definitely put him in We Recommend.
We Recommend. That's something I forgot to mention about Dave McRae too. Half the time he does ramble. He does tend to ramble half the time, but the other half the time he knows what he's talking. He knows what he's talking about. I feel like I didn't really explain enough why Dave McRae is in subscribe right away rather than We Recommend. So that's another point I want to bring up about him is that he's a guy who knows what he's talking about. But next up is Piz Owl, another one of Ryan's picks. So
he is very physical media heavy. He is very collection heavy. He like does like mask reviews, like whenever Trick or Treat Studios releases a new mask or whenever a new release comes out, like even of more obscure movies, he'll still do like a release review of like whenever they come out on physical media, like whether they're from like Arrow Video or Scream Factory or whatever. But aside from that, he's also a very live stream heavy guy, which I'm not necessarily big into, but you know, he's very interactive with his fans, and I've even like DM'd him like before and stuff like that, and he's just a really, really nice guy. But my only complaint for him would be like he doesn't really have much variety. Like he'll do like some pretty random stuff, like he'll do like horror videos, then you'll get like a random food review like randomly, which is a bit random. But you know, he's still a good YouTuber. Like he makes good thumbnails, he edits well, and he's also really funny. But he's not funny in the way that like Stitch Together Pictures is funny. He's funny in a way that like he'll just like make fun of something, but like in the most casual way possible, which makes it even funnier. Like he does these bad Michael Myers masks unboxing videos, and they are just like the funniest thing ever. Like I was just watching his newest one last night, and one of them was like, "Oh crap, here we have Predator Myers, hide your kids." And it's like he says it in like the most calm and just like funny way possible.
Yeah, like dry humor, basically.
Yeah, just like really dry humor, but you know, it makes it funny. But then again, that's really only one series, and the rest of his stuff is pretty collection and physical media heavy. So I would say see for yourself, see if he's your cup of tea. But you know, he's still a good YouTuber, but I feel like he's just like a selective few horror fans would like him, while others would you know, just not really be into him.
I don't really watch his content very much. I don't, as far as I can remember, I don't think I've even watched a single video of his, but I do know like he's got a reputation for being like a real good dude. But for purposes of this list, we're not, I guess we'll see with this next entry. We're not rating them necessarily on the kind of person they are. We're just kind of rating on what
just their content. Like if we were rating them on their person, then like the next person up probably would be very low. But we're just doing purely content wise. Yeah.
So the next guy is Drum Dums, who supposedly, I guess I don't really want to get into the whole thing, but I guess he's kind of I guess he's kind of a jerk in real life. That's what we've been told from other YouTubers. But judging based off of his content, the one thing that I will give him, because I don't watch him very often, but when I do, he'll make these lists and top 10 lists with such like great variety. Like he'll see like a top 10 list is like number 6 is the original Halloween from 1978, and then like number 5 will be like Warlock Moon from 1970, something completely random that you never heard of. Warlock Moon. But the thing is that the way he describes these movies, like I've watched his videos multiple times and have been like have heard about a movie through his video, and then went to check it out like later that day or like the next day, which is, I think it's kind of rare for a horror YouTuber to do that, like explain a movie in such a way that really makes you intrigued enough to like go see it, at least for me. So I'm gonna say, for me personally, I'm gonna put him in We Recommend. he does. I mean, all the kind of like generic. He does rankings and reviews and all that stuff. But I think he does them in a good enough way to where like you will actually find yourself watching, watching the movies that he talks about.
And something about him is like whenever I like want to watch a review on like a slightly lesser known movie, he's probably one of the only more popular horror YouTubers that will do reviews and stuff on lesser known movies, like other than like I like Rotted Reviews, you know, for example. But like one of the bigger YouTubers, like most of the time whenever I'm looking up like a lesser known movie, I can guarantee that he's done a review. Like I remember like there's this really like obscure 70s horror movie called like Deranged that like literally no one have ever heard of. I have never even heard of it. Well, at the time I had never even heard of it, and I looked it up doubting there'd be any reviews, and of course he had a review for it. So like he is very good on that front as well. He does have a very good variety of like lesser known stuff while also sticking with the popular stuff as well.
Yeah. Only reason I don't put him in subscribe right away is because like he does all the generic kind of rankings and stuff, but I do feel like Cody Leach, for example, just does them better.
Yeah.
Like I think there is a reason why Cody Leach has more like subscribers than Drum Dums.
He just sort of doesn't have like that certain thing about him that sticks out, you know, like with a lot of other YouTubers.
It's hard to explain.
Like he doesn't have that much. Like he's a good YouTuber. He just doesn't necessarily have that much about him that's unique and that you know like sticks him out like from other YouTubers.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy where it's like I'll watch him if he comes up in my recommended page.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily like I don't think I'm subscribed to him really.
Yeah.
But next up we've got the Night Watch Zone. And I think this guy is one who's pretty underrated, pretty underappreciated. I think he's got a good amount of subscribers now. I can't remember. It's in the double thousands. I know that. But I think his content, like he's another one kind of like Drum Dums where he does reviews on these movies that like you've never even heard of. And he's also really he's very inclusive. Like you'll see a lot of other smaller YouTubers doing like collabs with him. Like he gives a lot of people like a base, I guess, to grow, like come on his live streams, discuss these movies, these random like 70s slashers and stuff. And on top of that, I just think the way he talks, like I remember our friend Mike from This Is My Design talking about him once because he's a much bigger fan than we are, and he was saying like the guy he has a voice for radio. Like he knows what he's doing. He knows how to speak for an audience. And you're starting to see that more now because like I'll look at my subscription feed and I'm seeing he's pulling interviews with like actual actors from like these big horror films and stuff. And so he's a guy who keeps growing.
Yeah, he's at almost 30K now. Yeah.
I think
good for him. Well deserved.
And on top of that, as I said, he is just a great dude, and I think his content is great. I think if you're into horror live streams, and there really isn't a whole lot of horror streamers that I think are super entertaining, like for example Dave McRae, like there isn't a whole lot of them that really keep your attention, but I think he does. And to be honest, I think I'm gonna put him in subscribe right away. He's really good, and I think everybody should give him a shot.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. I've seen some of the live streams that you did with him. I've seen some of his videos. You know, he makes good videos. He seems like a cool dude. You know,
he's a good dude. And then speaking of the Clash members.
Speaking of cool dudes, we have the one, the only Horror Gang.
Horror Gang, the man himself, a good friend of ours.
Yes.
So I guess we might be biased here, but he does reviews. He does pretty much the same kind of stuff as the others. He does reviews. He does unboxings. Not a whole bunch of rankings, but I think the thing that makes him stand out, in my opinion, I think the coolest thing about his channel that nobody else does is his October uploads. Every year, for those who don't know, on the Horror Gang channel, I think this has been going for the last 3 years now. He'll do, so this year he did Craptober, which is every single day in October, he puts out a new review, and they're short. They're not like 20-minute reviews, so you can legitimately get through them all, like in one sitting if you want.
Yeah, it's just like some really fun short form content, and it's funny. It's entertaining. It's not like, you know, obviously since they're short, you know, they don't drag on. They're not boring. They're just it's like scrolling on TikTok and finding just like a really cool, just finding like a really cool guy, and like he just makes some really good like original content, and he also, you know, he'll do like a one-off here and there type of thing. Like he's done like a couple physical media reviews type stuff. His live streams as well. His live streams
are real fun.
Yeah, his live streams are really, really fun. Speaking from being on there with him and a viewer, like they are so much fun. And he's, you know, he's also very interactive with his viewers. Like, like you know, I was a viewer of his once, and you know, I'm just like a casual friend of his. So like, yeah, he's just a really, really cool dude, and you know, he's very you know, he's very like he's very like a community based type channel where it's like he has his certain people, he has his certain loyal viewers that everyone in the community knows type stuff, and it's like, you know, it's just a really cool thing to be a part of, and he just makes like he makes good content. Obviously, you know, he's gotten to 1K, you know, he gets solid views, and he also uploads really consistently too, which I think is very good. Like he literally uploads every single day in October, which is, you know, like something I definitely couldn't do. So yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, and he's also got in his reviews, he's got like variety. Again, like we said, he's done Craptober twice, which every single day of the month, it's just a review of some random crappy horror film that nobody's ever heard of. Like I'd imagine there's like a good amount of reviews on his channel that he's the only person to have reviewed on YouTube. But then at the same time, if you are into like the more obvious stuff, he's got that variety. Like he's done reviews on Jaws, The Fly, that kind of stuff. And of course, last year he did all of the Universal monsters in October.
He does these really cool watch-alongs too. Like
watch-alongs are fun.
Like the like he'll do like some old obscure like early 1900s like type streams, but then like he'll also do like the Scream streams that we did. And yeah, I mean, he's just a really cool YouTuber. He's got enough variety. He's got a good enough fan base. He interacts with his fans. I guess my only negative about him would be maybe his editing. Maybe if like he would just if he would just like maybe you know, just maybe try different styles of editing maybe, and you know, just like little things like that, like nothing necessarily big. Like there's not like anything like really, really bad that would make someone not want to subscribe to him, you know?
Yeah. So he is our friend, but we do have to be fair here.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's got all the potential in the world. He just got new microphones, so I mean, like within a week, this could be outdated because he just got new mics, he just got new equipment. But as of this recording, he does only have 1,000 subscribers. He does shoot videos on his phone. So maybe if you're looking for like a huge audience, like big time horror YouTuber that like covers it all, he's not gonna be for everybody, I guess. But
he could be in the future, though. You know, there's like massive potential with him. He just hasn't really reached to that point yet. Yeah.
I think, to be fair, I think we should go We Recommend. Do you think that's fair?
I would go with We Recommend as well. I think that is fair.
We Recommend.
If you're watching this video and you're not a part of the Horror Gang, man, hit that subscribe button for Horror Gang.
Hit that subscribe button on Horror Gang for sure. Check out his stuff. We definitely recommend him. Then next up, we've got I Like
Scary, you all.
I Like Scary, baby. Gotta get that thumbnail.
Gotta get that thumbnail.
But so here's the thing about I Like Scary is that, well, the stuff we talked about Drum Dums, again, we're not gonna get into it with Drum Dums. so I'm not gonna get into it with him. So basically, he did the same thing to us. But I got to admit, his content, the content that he does put out, is good.
Yeah.
He has good edit, like he's got good production value. He edits real well. His thumbnails are good. They're real eye-catching. The problem, however, lies
with his variety.
His variety.
His variety.
His variety is,
bro, you won't find more than Scream, Halloween, Stranger Things, and maybe your occasional Chucky and Terrifier.
Yeah,
that's about it.
If you're lucky, you'll get someone else. But it's literally like if you scroll through his channel, it's Halloween, 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 Halloween. Scream, Scream, Stranger Things, Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. So the variety isn't there, but as we said with Horror Gang, the potential is. I think the lack of variety.
Yeah, I think
that's what kills it for me, to be honest.
I mean, of course I like those, franchises that he covers, but he literally doesn't do anything other than that.
You're not going to see a Friday the 13th review from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that he'll do, the occasional one-off type of thing, or, he'll, go to a convention or, shooting sites for movies, but it's, I feel like it doesn't really make up for the fact that, probably what he's doing a shooting site for is Halloween. It's he doesn't do anything else. If you want, if you want a YouTube channel to find some horror movies, he's definitely not the guy for you. He's just Scream, Halloween, But I mean, hell, if you're a poser, but hell, if you're a Stranger Things fan or a Halloween fan, and that's all you know, he's the guy for you.
So if you are just a fan of Halloween, or just a fan of Stranger Things or Scream, then I think he is for you. But the thing is that there isn't a whole lot of people out there. But there's not none. There's not. Yeah. There are a lot of people like that do just want to see Halloween and that kind of stuff. So I think we should go see for yourself.
Yeah.
Is that fair? See for yourself?
I think that's fair. Next up, we got Craving Something Scary. Big Crave Ball. He is... Alright. He is a... Let me start this off. He's a very, very nice guy. He is very cool. He does, he does a lot of, update type videos where it's Halloween franchise update, Scream franchise update, what's happening with this new horror movie, what's going on here, what's going on there. The only thing is, those kinds of channels become really outdated and they don't have any rewatchability, because you click on a video to get the information that you want, to see what's going on, but you'll never watch that video again, and you'll never watch the video that you watched before again. It's he's not a channel that you can just click on and scroll through and see what videos interest you, because they're all news videos. You're not going to watch a news video of something that happened a year ago or a month ago, or and that's mainly what he does. So if you like that sort of just quick, snappy, not too invested, just want to know what's going on, then he'd be for you. But he doesn't really have much else to offer except for maybe his live streams, because he is really interactive with his audience. I will say that. He, like I said, he's a nice guy. He's very interactive with his audience. His live streams are cool, but he just doesn't do much other than that. He does manage to get some cool little interviews with some people in the horror industry, which I think is cool and I think is impressive. So I will give him that. But yeah, he just doesn't have that much to offer. if you want your horror news update, he'd be for you. But other than that, he doesn't really have that much to offer, which is probably which is a pretty big downside. I guess I would put See for Yourself, because if you just want a quick little news type thing, he'll be cool for you. But like I said, he doesn't really have much else to offer.
Well, I don't really watch him that much at all. I do see him pop up on Night Watch Zone streams from time to time. He's very well spoken. He's a guy who knows what he's talking about. But yeah, I have visited his channel every now and then, and it is a lot of just kind of update stuff. So I trust you as an avid Craven Something Scary viewer. that you are. I trust you.
All right.
Yeah. Well, next up, I mean, I think this one is kind of obvious. So the thing, yeah, the thing about Dead Meat, yeah, but there is a reason. There is a reason for me putting him where I'm gonna put him, because if it wasn't for Dead Meat, we probably wouldn't be doing this video right now, because he is what basically got me into horror. So the first little backstory, a little lore, a little exposition dump about me.
A little Jimbo lore.
Yep, basically. So the first horror movie I watched was Halloween, and before this time, when I was like really young, like elementary school, I was terrified at literally the thought of watching a horror movie. I had no idea what could be behind those DVD covers. And the one that scared me the most was Chucky. This dude, Chucky, terrified me. I had nightmares. This dude psychologically messed with my head when I was a kid, and I had never seen any of his movies. Literally, I just seen pictures of him. Terrified me.
But then when you actually watch the stuff, now it's just freaking Chucky getting his prostate checked in an episode.
Yeah,
so it's like, Chucky can be pretty deceiving.
I'm not watching the TV show. I don't even want to talk about it. It sucks. But the movies are a different story, and the way I got introduced to them, the way I got over my fears, was through Dead Meat. So I watched Halloween, realized, okay, this isn't actually that scary. So let me see if I can at least watch the kill count for Chucky and not be mortally petrified. And I wasn't. Just like the jokes he was making, the editing, the production value, it really got me. It basically got me over my fear of horror movies in general, which led me to like watch all the movies and let me. So like the dude changed my life in a way,
and he's done that for a lot of other people too. He in the recent years, in this recent boom in horror, in this recent era of horror, there are so many more horror fans, and not even just that, there's just a lot more people who are just like aware of the genre and aware of how big it actually is, just because of him. Like,
it's not actually like stupid. Like the media portray, like you'll see on Rotten Tomatoes, like, oh, classic movie has like a 17, but like when you watch the Dead Meat kill count for it, like you start to understand more of the process of the movie and why.
You really start to understand what the genre actually is, and how much impact it actually has on like movies and pop culture in general. Like you'll get people who aren't even horror fans but know movies like freaking Basket Case just because of Dead Meat, So it's like massive respect and thanks to like Dead Meat for like this recent boom of like younger horror fans, people who are just generally aware of the genre in general. It's like you like, I know a lot of people who aren't even really horror fans but will watch his videos anyways just because they're that good. Like he just makes really good content, and it's like he really has like no downsides, and his video styles, kill counts, it's not like your average YouTuber doing a review or a ranking. It's really original to him, and that kind of video existed before him, but he really just like made it his own. And it's like nowadays you can't even think of a kill count without thinking of Dead Meat.
Yeah, I mean,
that's really impressive.
He's at the point now where like he's the most subscribed YouTuber or horror YouTuber by far. Like I don't even know how many more are over 1 million. The dude's like he's making these kill counts now are basically like documentaries about like short
he's like the freaking Mr. Beast of the horror community.
Exactly.
Like he's big enough to be guests at horror conventions. Like what other horror YouTuber can do that,
Yeah. So I think without question, the dude is like, you talk about like this recent boom in horror films, like it started with like Halloween 2018, which then started this whole crescendo of like horror movies are huge now, and I feel like it's a reasonable assumption to say that he played a part in that.
He definitely helped for sure. You can't deny that.
So I mean, without question, he's legend.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's Dead Meat. He's the most legendary on this list.
No, without a doubt. So next up we have a good old We Watched a Movie. Two guys, one guy more than the other, but still mainly two guys who, I mean, geez, they literally like do everything. They do everything. They do reviews, they do rankings, they do like news videos like Craven does, they do skits, they do live streams. They're very consistent. They're very, very funny. And probably one of the funniest, even YouTubers in general that I've ever watched. Like they are a lot like Pizzow in a way, where it's like they'll just be like in like a just like a normal conversation and just randomly blurt out something funny out of nowhere, and it's just hilarious. Very, very just casual, just stuff. It's hilarious. And like they do skits too. Like they have like a video with like they have a few videos actually that have like millions and millions of views that are their skits because they're funny. They're really funny. And like they'll do like these really cool things where it's like, I remember when the recent trilogy of Halloween movies were coming out, they'd like do like a trailer reaction of just themselves, but then like a separate trailer reaction video of Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis reacting to it, and it's like hilarious. And I mean, they literally have everything. Like I can't even think of a negative. They literally do like a wide variety of videos. They very consistent, very interactive with their audience, and they're just fun to watch. They're funny. So I mean, I gotta go with crap, what's the tier called again? Oh yeah. So I gotta go with subscribe right away. I mean, they are
the way it is.
They literally got no flaws, man. I mean, I guess the only thing was like, if you like your horror content just straight edge, no comedy at all, no anything like that, then you probably wouldn't be into them. But more people are than aren't. So it's like, they're definitely a subscribe right away.
Mm-hmm. This is all new to me. I don't think I've ever watched one of their videos, but I think you sold me. I think I'm gonna go check them out.
I mean, anyone watching this video who hasn't checked them out should definitely.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your favorites,
we got my boy, my favorite YouTuber in general of all time, Dr. Wolfula. I mean, it's either him or Pizzow have been doing YouTube the longest since like 2009, and I mean, the longevity of his channel and his character. It's like you got like a mutant killer werewolf who wears a cloak and broken sunglasses that sounds like a 80s cartoon character. It's like the most weird and bizarre crap, but it's so entertaining to watch. And you mix that with, I mean, he is one of the most well-spoken and like knows what he's talking about. He's very, very knowledgeable when it comes to horror, but he injects his comedy and his character into it perfectly. So it's like you get this perfect mixture of like really, really good horror content and comedy. Like his reviews are it's sort of like dead meat, where you could watch a video and not even know about the movie or anything like that and still have like a blast. Like a lot of his content is movies I've never seen, but it's just like they're like just really good, hilarious, entertaining videos. And I mean, I literally don't have any complaints like at all. Like I couldn't even think of one. Like he's just been doing it for so long, and you know, I might be a little biased, but I mean, realistically, I can't think of a single negative about him. So I mean, I gotta go with Legend. I'm sorry, I gotta go with Legend.
That's fair to me. I mean, he's your favorite YouTuber. I'd have to think of Dead Meat as my favorite YouTuber.
He definitely used to be,
but he might. At one point, he absolutely was. I don't.
His poster was in the background of all your videos.
Yeah, I had his In Search of Darkness version DVD. But next up, we've got somebody that I'm pretty sure we both picked. This is like the only guy that we both had on our list. It's Cody Leach.
Probably the second biggest horror YouTuber on this list besides Dead Meat.
I think I'd say so.
I'd say that.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about Cody Leach that I like is, I think, in my opinion, he's got the most. I don't know what it is, just his presentation style. he's got the most watchable reviews for me. Like, he's the only guy on YouTube where I'll watch a movie and then watch his review like immediately after. Like, I don't really watch reviews that often. I tend to go towards like the rankings, maybe like the live streams. But his reviews, something about him, I don't know. He does it in just such a good way to where, I mean, he's, as we said, he's like the second biggest guy on the platform now, or at least the second most like well known.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as I said, I mean, I'm big into rankings. He does that all the time too. Like, he's starting to catch up with a lot of other horror YouTubers in terms of like the amount of franchises he's reviewed. Like, he's reviewed and ranked so many horror franchises at this point, and I think he also has, I think besides Dead Meat, I think you could say he is the most dedicated, because I mean, who else does, like, just recently he ranked every single Saw trap. Like,
yeah, like
nobody else has done that.
That takes some dedication.
Yeah.
And he's said it before, he's not even a giant fan of the franchise. He, you know, but he still does it, you know?
Yeah. Like, he's a full-time YouTuber now.
He's very consistent.
He's incredible.
And he's not even just horror. Like, if you're a big horror fan, but you also like other stuff too, he doesn't do just horror, you know? Which is also a really cool thing.
Yeah, I think all of his he's mostly horror, but even the non-horror stuff is entertaining. It's watchable. I think he's definitely one of the best. Only thing is he does, I mean, his reviews are kind of just like what we're doing right now, just like kind of standing and talking at the camera with maybe a few like jokes here and there. So I don't think the production value is that, I'm like, he's not on the level of Dead Meat.
He just has a really, really good presentation and a very good structure, and it's all very easy to digest and easy to take in. It's not like this big overdone production like, you know, like other YouTubers, like who, you know, are, you know, like the more comedy driven YouTubers who have a skit in between like a sentence. Like, it's just easy to take in stuff, you know, and you know, he's just, you know, he's very well spoken. He knows what he's talking about, and like, he's very passionate and dedicated as well. And you can tell that, especially with like the stuff that he really likes, you know. I think one of the main reasons why he's so popular is he's just found this sort of structure and presentation that's like so like easy to digest, and I feel like it's like it's really like accessible to like a much wider audience. Like, so many.
It's watchable. Like,
it's like super
videos are
watchable.
for everyone.
Like, so it's like he can reach a wider audience because it's like he's not like overbearing with his like horror enthusiasm. He's like a really chill, laid back dude. You know, his personality won't drive you away like maybe other YouTubers will with how like crazy energetic they are. You know.
Yeah, he's just a dude who's got a passion for horror films.
Exactly.
Fine. And I think he's easily subscribed right away. Like,
easily.
For sure. But you may notice that there is still one category that is unpopulated. That's the unsubscribe category. And conveniently, there's one person left over.
We got
the hellhound himself.
The hellhound himself.
Helvington. That was.
Oh man, where do we even begin with this dude?
I mean, yeah, right.
Where do we even begin?
Basically, I think he's basically I Like Scary dollar store version, and I Like Scary is already in See for Yourself.
Dollar store I Like Scary. I mean, he sort of suffers from the same thing. I mean, he literally doesn't have that much of variety. Like, he really only talks about the big main franchises, doesn't do anything else, and 90% of his videos are Craven style news videos, and he literally doesn't have anything but that on his channel. Like, he's not like Craven. He's not like Craven where there's like maybe a good one-off here and there that you could watch. There's literally nothing but update videos and theory videos on his channel. That's literally it.
And the thing is that not only is it just updates and theories, but they're all wrong. Like, I remember when Jeepers Creepers Reborn was coming out. I looked at my feed and I saw like 3 videos back to back to back. Jeepers Creepers has lost the rights. Jeepers Creepers still has the rights. Is Jeepers Creepers being made?
It's very clickbaity, you know?
Yeah, it's
Like,
super
I
clickbaity.
remember seeing a video of his on my feed, and it was like, this just in, Danielle Harris is returning to the Halloween franchise. Well, I was like, whoa, what? Click on that video. Bro,
Yeah.
That's literally not happening. Like, I don't...
He talks like Dave Meltzer, like the wrestling guy. He's like,
I know,
he's like, you see, maybe she might be coming back. From what I've heard, it's possible that she could be. Nothing is set in stone, so she might not, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's oh man, he's just...
Yeah, poor Helvington.
I mean, he has the ability to make good content. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
he just doesn't. I mean, Hellhounds. I mean,
he's got a good brand. I'll tell you that, and he is dedicated. Like I remember I was watching a wrestling. It was like a random episode of AEW Dynamite, and I swear to God, I
remember that.
He was in like the stands on the hard camera, like
wearing his
flexing
own
the
merch
shirt on national TV. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So he is dedicated to his craft. The only problem is his craft isn't very good. Yeah. To put it, yeah.
See, like I could definitely see him being a good YouTuber and making good content, but I feel like he's just... I don't even have an explanation. He just doesn't make the good content that he could, you know? But yeah, Hellhounds, y'all are moving into the unsubscribe.
Unfortunately.
So if somehow you got hacked and you're subscribed to him, make sure you smash that unsubscribe button in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our horror YouTuber tier list. We've got in the Legends category, which means if you're not subscribed to these people, click off the video now and subscribe immediately and start binging their content. We've got Dead Meat and Dr. Wolfula. Subscribe right away, which means that they're basically like they're bordering on legend. There's potential that maybe if we do this in like 3-4 years, they'll be there. That's Dave McRae, Night Watch Zone, We Watch a Movie, and Cody Leach, who I think probably has the most potential to go into legend.
For sure.
Then we've got We Recommend, Planet CHH, Rotted Reviews, Stitched Together Pictures, Batman, Drum Dums, Horror Gang, the man himself.
Then About That Life.
See for yourself, we've got Pizzal, I Like Scary, Craven Something Scary, and an unsubscribe, we've got Helvington. Is there anything, Ryan, that you would like to change before we end this? Any reordering?
Any last minute decisions?
Yeah. Last minute decisions, it's time.
I think I think maybe Cody Leach could already be legend status.
You think so?
But it's like I'm really conflicted on whether or not he should be there. And if I'm conflicted about it and I'm instantly thinking, oh yeah, he should be there, then he probably should be, not just yet at least.
Fine.
But out of everyone on this list that's not in legend, he definitely has the most potential.
I just thought of why he shouldn't be in legend. There's one reason that I think keeps him out. And that is that half the jokes that he makes, unfortunately, do not land. Sometimes I'll just be watching his videos and there'll be like a joke he makes or an editing joke. I'm like,
he's a very dad joke type guy.
Yeah.
And he's a dad, so I mean,
yeah,
it fits. It's not like so bad to where it's cringy. It's not like so bad to where it's cringy, but sometimes you're like, oh, that maybe wasn't that funny, you know?
Well, yeah. So
make better jokes, Cody, and you can be in legend.
Yeah. But for now, he's subscribed right away.
I think we made a solid list, James.
You think we made a solid list? All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your horror YouTuber official first time ever tier list.
Let us know
Maybe
what you think in the comments.
let us know where you
Let us
would
know.
rate YouTubers.
Let us know what you think of our opinions and how you would rate it.
Yep,
rate it.
all of that good jazz in the comments.
And all that jazz.
Ooh,
Ooh.
vocals.
Reeky.
That one, okay.
Oh yeah. Let me promote my.
Oh yeah. Anything
one
to
that I'm doing.
promote, Mr. Perez?
So shortly after this video will be uploaded. I'm not sure exactly how long. Maybe a week, maybe a few days. I will have a tier list video up on my channel. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, do it. Come on, be a primetime whore and subscribe to Primetime Horror. And it will be. I'm not gonna say what the tier list video will be just yet. It's gonna be a little bit of a surprise, but it's gonna be me and James doing another tier list video. So if you like this one, then you will definitely like the one that will be up on my channel. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And that's it.
That's all. So peace out.
And that's all, folks.